Oh, it's show time at the apartment. Welcome back to another video. My name is Casey Michelle, your favorite breathwork coach. And today we're talking about why I don't practice the Wim Hof method. And I know this might be like a, wait, what? Wim Hof's the man. Why would we not practice that? I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna dive into like 3 of my main reasons why it's just not for me. When I say not for me, I'm not even saying that I'm anti Wim Hof. I'm more so saying that it's just not something I consistently practice. I may practice it here and there or with some friends in group settings. Sometimes when I teach it, it feels right intuitively. But for the most part, it's not really my go-to breath method, and I know so many people love Wim Hof. So again, this is not against you and your practice. Disclaimer, of course, whatever works for you works for you. Simply just sharing my journey with you and my experience with it. So by all means, if you absolutely love Wim Hof, love that practice, then keep going, keep doing it. Do what makes you feel good, ultimately. Before we get into it though, I need you to give this video a thumbs up. I need you to make sure you are subscribed. And the last thing I need you to do, are you listening? I need you to comment down below, when is your favorite time of day to practice breath work? Do you like it in the morning, afternoon, mid, evening, right before bed? When do you feel like you have the best breathwork practices? I'm really curious to know. So comment that down below and let's get into this Wim Hof unpack session. I feel like I'm about to get attacked, but let's do it. I'm also coming to you on my Sporty Spice vibes. I hope we're here for that. All right, first step. If you're not familiar with the Wim Hof method, it's more of a hyperventilative type of practice of breathing. It's very, very fast. It's more like breath of fire style and just very can be similar to that. He does mention other methods in his practices, but I think most people, when they think of the Wim Hof method, they think of that breath of fire, fast breath that heats up the body very fast and is typically used within cold showers, cold water therapy. Now, I will say I am team cold water therapy. I think that is awesome for the nervous system. I do practice cold showers as often as I can and cold plunges as often as I can. And in those spaces, I do think it's valid to practice some Wim Hof. But personally, I prefer Tumo breathing, which is the slow 1 to 2 breaths per minute that gets you that same internal fire, that inner heat, that same exact thing, just through slow breathing. Really, really getting into more of a parasympathetic, less hyperventilative state. When you're doing those like hyperventilative breaths, those really, really fast breaths, you're actually burning off a lot of CO2, carbon dioxide. And I've mentioned this in a lot of my previous videos. I'll have some linked down below or they'll pop up. Where I talk really about the importance and difference and relationship of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Maybe I'll just make a dedicated video coming up soon just about this topic alone, because there's so much to be said about that alone. But doing those really fast breaths, it's actually decreasing our tolerance to carbon dioxide. And to break this down really simply, oxygen is like our fuel, right? We need oxygen. But carbon dioxide helps us receive that oxygen. Oxygen is received in the body when carbon dioxide is released. So when we're going really, really, really fast, there's no real chance for us to fully receive the oxygen, and we're burning off so much carbon dioxide. And if this sounds confusing, I'm gonna link some books down below that might help you with this. Breath by James Nestor is an awesome one. Oxygen Advantage is another really popular one. We're already kind of in a subtle hyperventilation, and our tolerance to CO2 is already really pretty low. Just in that sense, on the science note, I had to kick it off with that. I like to practice more of the slow diaphragmatic breaths, the Tumo breaths. Even if I'm doing steadier breaths, they're not necessarily breath of fire fast. They're more like, and that's still pretty steady, but if I'm gonna do them, more so lean into like that kind of pace of like a steadier thing than a type of thing. Which leads into my second one. This is probably the biggest reason why I don't necessarily practice Wim Hof. It's really a temporary little moment, right? And you could say this about all wellness practices, like when you take a yoga class or when you do breath work or when you're doing whatever, you go to the gym. For that hour, you're feeling good, you're feeling this way, and then you go about your day maybe not feeling at all like you felt there. What I believe in personally with breath work is that we're always breathing. There's no separation. So having your breathwork practice in the morning definitely resets your nervous system and is a more conscious practice with your breath, but you're still gonna be breathing after that. Practicing breathwork that really involves awareness of the breath and more of a breath that you can like take with you throughout the day, I think is a little bit more valuable in my opinion. Kind of be weird to just randomly in the car versus doing a box breath or an extended exhale breath. Like I said, a tumo breath throughout the day to just like, okay, I can reset with that. And it's just more of a more parasympathetic calming feeling than an upper booster. Granted, if you're feeling low energy and you just really want to boost, I mean, go for it. But in my experience, I feel like it is kind of like a temporary little high. And I'm definitely one that believes in like slow and steady wins the race. And in the long run, your whole life duration, you're gonna be breathing. So really making sure that you're aware of your breath, which is breath work, and then being aware of the pace of it, I think is where like a lot of my intention is. Like, are you subtly hyperventilating already? Is it really slow? Is it really deep into the belly? What does it feel like right now? Just bringing in that awareness throughout your day is practicing breath work. To me, it's not necessarily a practice you can keep with you throughout the day as easily as you can with, like I mentioned, box breaths, circular breaths, 4-7-8 breath. Bunch of techniques I could throw out there, right? But I'm team, let's calm our nervous system, let's feel safe in our body, and let's slow it down because we're such a fast-paced moving society and we're always giving and receiving so much information. So taking the time to slow down throughout the day is vital. Last and final reason why I don't personally practice Wim Hof. Piggybacking off of my second reason, I think personally it can, and my emphasis on the word can, induce more anxiety. Again, it is like a hyperventilative practice. Literally, it's all energy work, but you are shifting your energy into this state of mind that is more of a fight or flight space. Consciously, however, though, so it is more intentionally focused. However, I think if you do struggle with anxiety, kind of circling back to that first one, and you have short of breath often already, I don't know that it can really strengthen your lung capacity or on an energetic level, really allow you to feel safe in your body and calm in your body. Granted, some people have total opposite experiences. They're like, this has cured my anxiety, this is everything, Wim Hof for life. And like I said in the beginning, if that's you, that's awesome. The goal is to feel better through the breath. So do what you gotta do. For me, I just find like in moments where it's intense already, like I'm already feeling intense in my body or like tight in my body, it can easily keep me there a little bit longer than I think I would be if I didn't do it. Versus, okay, let me just exhale everything out. And inhale it in for a 4 count. And exhale it out for a 5 count. It's a way different experience. The mind and the breath are so intertwined. One changes, the other one changes. They reflect each other all day long. So practicing hyperventilation daily and making that my staple breath work isn't something that feels good for me personally, and I have heard others share this experience as well, that like it actually scares them a little bit. Granted, some people feel scared on the slow holds, long holds too. It does all come back to your O2 and CO2 tolerance, give and receive energy. I think just on an energetic level, it's not a state of body, a state of mind, and a state of awareness that I would like to practice daily. I am personally more a fan of, okay, let's actually do less. I think there's so much power in non-action. I'm a big believer of the Tao Te Ching. I think one of the hardest actions is non-action. So when we do less, we actually receive more. That's kind of like my motto with a lot of my wellness and lifestyle regimens. It's just kind of like simplifying. Less is more. How can you make this more ease and less effort? I think that's really, really important in a world where we're constantly reaching for external validation or external sources or whatever to complete us. And you could just simplify it. You could just take a deep breath. But yeah, those are my 3 main reasons why Wim Hof isn't necessarily for me. I'm not anti-Wim Hof. If you see me practicing Wim Hof one day with somebody, don't be like, girl, you said you wasn't gonna do this. Listen, I'm not anti it. I just prefer the slower route, the more parasympathetic route, the more calming breaths. I think have so much value in them. Both have their time and their place, but I'm team slow. But that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about this or want me to dive even deeper into this, I would be happy to. Leave any questions, concerns, comments down below. I would love to know what your thoughts are. If you practice Wim Hof, how that goes for you. Whatever you'd like to share, I'm open to discussing and I'm open to listening. So please, please, please leave your thoughts down below. That is it for this week's video. I will see you next time.
I wanna all night. Say it. I wanna all night.
Hello, stranger.